Okay, well, now we're joined by goalkeeper Drake Callender. If you have a question on the Zoom, please raise your hand. We'll start actually here with Brian, and then we'll go to Daniel, then Xavier.
Drake, you made some big saves there in the second half. You were under a lot of pressure in the second half. You just discussed the game a little bit and maybe looked like a little bit of a tale of two halves.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, like our team performed great. I think on the road, we're always looking to get points, even though the result wasn't there. I think our overall performance was good. I think we really went for it this game, and I think towards the second half, we really started to go for it, even if that meant maybe being vulnerable to a counterattack. But that's just part of the game. I think we had our chances, and I think it's going to help us learn how to maybe be more experienced game management going forward.
We're gonna go to Xavier, then Daniel.
Good evening, Drake. You guys, it was a tough game, but pro sports, there are no moral victories. You guys played tough, in a tough environment. What did the coach tell you guys after the game? Because you played toe-to-toe with a New York City team, but you didn't get the victory. What does the coach say after a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, of course, in the locker room, everyone's a little emotional. Everyone's a little upset of how the game ended and what the result was. But Phil made us realize kind of how far we've come from last year to this point, to where we're competing toe-to-toe with a really good team in its away game. And so I think the overall message was just to use this as a lesson, but also like take the positives from it and keep moving forward, because we don't have time to hang our heads. We don't have time to dwell on all like the negatives. Yeah, we lost 1-0, but in the big scheme of things, I think it's going to help us become stronger as a group.
Daniel.
Hey Drake, this is Daniel from This Is Football. I just had a quick question. So Phil was out here earlier talking to us, and he was telling us how he calls you the best goalkeeper in the conference and how you should be on the national team. And I was wondering, how does it feel for, to hear Phil say that first? And second of all, how does it feel to have your coach and your teammates stand behind you and, to basically say that you should be on the national team?
What was that last part?
How does it feel to have
in the end?
Yeah, how does it feel to have your team behind you to say that you deserve to be on the national team?
I mean, it's great, to have the belief and support of my teammates as well as my coach. I mean, that gives me a lot of confidence, as much confidence that I summon from within, to have guys who you put in the work with every day, to have a coach that has given you opportunities and chances to show my craft and show my skills. It's something that I'm extremely grateful for, and it makes me want to go out every single game, every single training, and just give it my all. And I think that's something that has helped me recognize the value of being on the field. Every opportunity you have on the field, whether it's in training and the game, means a lot. And so in whichever way I can support and show up in moments I need to show up, I'm going to do my best to be ready for those moments during the game.
We'll go to Franco and Andrea.
Drake, one of the biggest storylines from this game is Gregory leaving with the injury. What were the initial exchanges with him in the locker room? How's he feeling? What's the mood like for him there? And what were your initial words of encouragement as a group for him?
Yeah, I mean, I think Greg's still getting looked at. Of course, he took a really big hit in the game, and you never want to see someone that you compete with, someone that's your teammate, someone that you're friends with, go through that and feel that pain. So I'm not sure to the extent of the hit he got, what the injury is, but I think guys, they're just being super supportive, especially him being our captain. He's really kind of like the glue to our group, and we're hoping that it's nothing too serious.
Andrea. Andrea, we can't hear you very well. Then we're gonna go.
Can you hear me now?
We try again. We're gonna go to Xavier, and then we'll go back to you, Andrea.
Drake, your stature in the league as a goalkeeper has grown also on the team. You know, you're more well known because you've put on some spectacular shows, displays in the games. How have you taken that in your leadership in the team? How's that affected your leadership in this team?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, the performance is the most important part. And I think when you're performing well and when you're giving it your all and you're doing what you need to do, you're essentially doing your job. I think other guys recognize that. And so, you know, whether that's leading by example, I think there's so many different ways to lead. Everyone has their own means of leading. And so for me, going into my second year, kind of more of like a leadership position. Of course, leading by example is kind of what's expected. And I think the challenge for me going forward is learning how to lead in different ways, in different capacities, and figuring out which ways I can show up for my teammates. Because maybe some of my teammates, you know, we're all different. So maybe some teammates need different kinds of leadership. So it's navigating those relationships within the team and understanding what I need to do in those specific moments that really call on me to lead.
All right, we're gonna try Andrea. No?
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Okay, I was going to follow up, Drake, on what Phil said about you deserving to be in the national team. Was that a hint? Did you finally get a call up for Nations League that is coming up this month?
No, I haven't gotten any calls. Of course, I think my main priority right now is these regular season games. The start of the season for this team is hugely important. So that's where my focus is. And if I get the call, I'd be extremely honored. And it would be great for my experience as a player to be able to be a part of the national team, whether it's for a camp or a Nation League game. So something that of course would be great, but I'm just trying to keep my feet on the ground, stay grounded in my priorities right now, which is preparing for Toronto.
Last question, Franco.
Thanks, Rafa. Drake, just your overall thoughts and analysis on the game itself. I mean, for me, from my vantage point, I thought you guys were the better team in the first half, a more dangerous team. You guys had two good looks on goal that just didn't get put away. And then NYCFC gets the own goal. And then from there, the game changed a little bit. They had a little bit more confidence, a little bit more momentum, and then they started creating some things. So what was your vantage point of the game? How would you analyze the 90 minutes?
Yeah, I think overall, like I would give us a pretty good rating on how we performed. Of course, when you're playing away, you may think you need a different approach, but we really just tried to bring the energy and bring the mentality that we have at home here and really, go for the win. And so, of course, like you can see how goals can change the momentum of games. And so, of course, it was an own goal. It never feels great, but I still felt that our build and create phase was good. We were able to get into positions for our attackers to get good chances, and as part of the game, it's something that comes down to execution, and whether you score or you don't score, I think the work that we put in and the effort from the squad was there. And so it's still game 3. There's still so much to look forward to. And so I'm extremely proud of how the team performed, extremely proud of how every player on the pitch worked and gave it their all, committed to the plan. And I think in the second half, of course, there's going to be chances in like both halves, but we really try to lay it all on the line and go for the win, or even go for a point. I think a point on the road would have been great. So huge props to my team for really taking it up a notch and giving it their all for this away game.
Thank you, Drake. And thank you, everyone. Have a great night.